Welcome to the Diary of a Broken Man, where we dissect political, economic, and social issues concerning our country, Nigeria, and Africa as a whole. And today we talk about political violence hotspot in Nigeria, talking about IPOB, the Northeast, where banditry, Boko Haram, and so many other insurgencies around the nation, disturbing the peace and order of the nation. Okay, so but Nigeria faces significant political violence hotspots, notably in the southeast, driven by the separatist activities of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, in the northwest, where banditry has escalated, and then around the northeast, where Boko Haram has taken absolute control of so many areas. In the southeast, IPOB push for Biafran independence has led to clashes with security forces, attack on government infrastructures, and the enforcement of sit-at-home orders, often accompanied by violence from its arm wing, the Eastern Security Network. This unrest has intensified since 2021's arrest of the IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, with the incident like the killing of security personnel and civilians disrupting daily life and governance. Unfortunately, Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinarily rendered to Nigeria not by constitutional or any other law, but it was basically like a kidnap from some other nation, is a part of the political somersault we've seen in Nigeria. And since then, he has been in detention. And the people like him have been freed. Why not free the man? For peace to reign. The unrest has intensified since the 2021 arrest of him. Okay, and then in the northwest, banditry marked by armed robbery, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and village raid dominate states like Zamfara, Katsina, and Kaduna, and Borno State, where Boko Haram is, ravaging things. These criminal gangs, often operating in ungoverned spaces, have displaced hundreds of thousands and they killed thousands, exploited local grievances, and the weak security presence. So let's do the discussion, linking violence to unemployment and peace-building initiatives. So unemployment is a critical driver of violence in both regions. In the southeast, Nigeria's unemployment rate, which hit 33.3% in 2020, remains high, disproportionately affect the youth, fueling alienation and making IPOB secessionist narrative appealing to those with limited or economic prospects. The kind of exclusion of the southeast in the political terrain of Nigeria is so evident that even the blind could see it. You see budgets made and you are looking for southeast, you won't see them. It's as if they are blamed for everything that happens in Nigeria, except the good ones that they do. When they do the good ones, they attempt Nigeria. When anything bad happens and it is somehow linked to the southeast, it is blown out of proportion. And when the same happens in any other part of the nation, you don't hear anything. It's uncalled for in a nation like Nigeria. Okay? So, in the Northeast, poverty and unemployment, with youth unemployment estimated at over 50% in some areas, pushing individuals towards banditry as a form of livelihood, towards banditry, particularly in rural areas where education and job opportunities are scarce. In fact, their appeal was because of so much poverty, lack of education. That's why so many of them could be co-opted into some of those things that they do. The proliferation of small arms, coupled with economic desperation, sustains the cycle of violence. In fact, what feeds the fire is poverty. And then some political actors that sponsor these things for their personal gains. So peace-building initiatives offer potential solutions, but face challenges. In the southeast particularly, Dialogue with moderate IPOB factions and local leaders, example Ohanaeze Ndigbo, has occasionally de-escalated tension, as seen like in 2021 Anambra election. However, federal reluctance to address root causes like Kanu's detention limits progress. In the Northwest, state-led peace deals with bandits have been faltered, often criticized as short-term appeasement rather than structural reform. Initiatives like the Plateau Peacebuilding Agency, which uses early warning system to prevent farmer-herder clashes, could be adopted to these hotspots. Broader efforts tackling unemployment through the job creation, improving security sector, accountability, and investing in education could address underlying drivers. But implementation is hampered by corruption and resource constraints. Media, Council of Foreign Relations, Nigerian Security Tracker. The Council of Foreign Relations Nigerian Security Tracker (NST) provides a comprehensive tool for understanding these hotspots. It maps out political violence based on weekly surveys of Nigerian and international press, documenting incidents related to IPOB in the southeast, to Boko Haram and the bandits in the northwest and northeast. Though its last update was July 2023, the NST historically tracked over 1,000 civilian deaths from banditry in 2019 alone, outpacing Boko Haram toll that year, and highlighted IPOB-related violence spikes post-2020. They even called for the release of Nnamdi Kanu a number of times within that period. The data underscores the scale and geographic spread of these crises, offering a visual and statistical baseline for policymakers and researchers as of March 21, 2007. In both of these regions, violence reflects a nexus of economic despair and governance failures, with peace building requiring more military responses. It demands addressing unemployment and rebuilding trust in the state. Now, the way Nigeria functions is actually very funny. Some of these things we are seeing is because of when there is grievance, it means there is a failure on the part of the government. So when the Southeasterners are calling for, why would the nation being treated well be demanding for secession? The secession is actually based on, long-term, grievance and the feeling of abandonment. The way Nigeria treats the Southeast is as if they are lepers in a country of their own, that they live and pay taxes in. Any small event that happens that concerns the Igbo people around Nigeria, Southeastern around Nigeria, if it is their business area, it can easily be demolished and nothing will happen. And sometimes I wonder, those Southeastern lawmakers and others in the house, what are they doing there? Why are they not speaking up? In the budget, you see the total exclusion. It seems as if they are overlooked in everything. So the nation cannot move forward if there are people feeling rejected, feeling neglected. That is where these kind of issues come from. Another thing is poverty when you come to Northeast and Northwest. Well, I think Nigeria weaponized poverty a lot. That's why politicians strive on that. That's why they share rice and share Indomie and share all those rubbish during elections. Because they have failed in their duty. I say it and I will keep saying it. Nigerians politicians are the worst set of human beings you can ever meet in the planet Earth. Because they are heartless and they do not care. Even if the people around them are dying, it will still not deter them from buying the latest car, from going to the best vacation, from sending their children abroad. It doesn't matter to them. With the money that was meant to feed those hungry people. If you go to the north and see the kind of poverty that people are going through, not because they are not ready to work or because there is no job. So many young boys are just walking around creating things for themselves just to survive. There is no support from the government. You hear billions and trillions. Today you hear that they signed 10 trillion to feed the hungry, and you are looking for the people they fed. The Almajiri people that are even ready to learn some handwork and begin to feed themselves. You are telling us you fed them with billions and trillions. And nobody is questioning these people. It's unfortunate. So when we talk about insecurity in Nigeria, it's actually a failure on the part of the Nigerian government. And they should be ashamed of themselves for failing the people that they would have voted them, and people that they vow to protect and to feed. It's appalling. And we must call a spade a spade. So this is a diary of a broken man where we dissect issues like this. Remember to subscribe, to like, to share, and tell us in the comment section what you think can mitigate and even eradicate this issue of insecurity in Nigeria. Let's not talk about kidnapping around Nigeria. Let's not talk about various kinds of violence going on in Nigeria. Voter suppression, and so many other kinds of violence around the country. Let's not talk about police brutality. Let's not talk about these things. Human trafficking, organ trafficking, so many other forms of silent violence going on in Nigeria. Let's not talk about them. Let's focus on Boko Haram and bandits and the kidnappers. So let me know in the comment section what you think we can do as a nation to actually restore lasting peace in Nigeria and the order in Nigeria. And then let me know also how you think Nigeria can get to the stage of our fellow countries like the United States and the Canadas and Australia. How you think we can function to that extent? I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.